So the initial plan was to sell both Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver. Unfortunately, they didn't sell. I had a lot of inquiries, but no one was really willing to front up when I needed the funds by. So plan B is I've got a bunch of additional titles that we're going to take to CEX, which you'll see soon. We're going to use those to start the trading and buying today, and we'll see how we go. The two Pokemon games we'll probably hold on to now unless something amazing comes up, but we might be able to use that later in the journey for some games that may cost a little bit more. So if anyone hasn't been in Sydney or driven around Sydney, parking is rubbish, and it's been rubbish for many years now. It'll probably take me a good 15 minutes to find a parking spot, unless I'm very lucky. With parking, I'm usually not that lucky. So we'll see how we go. I think I just got that. Wait, is that empty? Whoa, the parking gods are with us today, guys. As you can see, I actually need to turn my neck when I park because I don't have a fancy car. But guess what? My neck mobility is not too bad. Sweet. Hopefully the parking luck leads into the luck of finding games. So one. I'm sure this is on there too. Yeah. Wonder why one's more expensive than the other. Oh, it's Vice City Stories, that's why. Ooh. Long sleeve, but that should still be okay. I'm doing a PS2 challenge. Yeah, so I'm trying to collect like all the games that I loved growing up, and trying to do it without spending any money. So find the stuff, the stuff that I've got like here. I've got other stuff too, to try and use this to complete the list.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
So the games voucher was 37, and then this was 30.
So that's 67.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's do that, and then I will probably get cash for the rest of the stuff if that's alright.
Just to make it easy, we'll just keep it easy.
Yeah. So we sold most of the things, and we've got 144 to play around with today. So we'll see what we can find. And we did get some games. Some more of the common titles, so San Andreas, Vice City, Kingdom Hearts, and Final Fantasy X2. So, good start. First shot, pretty decent. I'm happy with that. Good thing I got the car washed, huh? So we just finished up at CEX. We have $144 and some change to spend today, if not today, next time we go out. I think in total we have, so we picked up 4 titles. I have 2 at home, so we've got 6 out of our 20, which is decent, better than I expected from our first place that we stopped. I did want to share my experience with CEX before today, and look, I'll preface by saying the staff at CEX, the store I went to, are like terrific. They were so nice, they were so accommodating, so helpful. Like, I knew about the store, but I didn't know what it did for ages. And as I started my content journey, I got back into retro gaming, and a lot of people were talking about how cool Steam Decks were, and I I was like, well, you know what, that would be cool. Like, I did love handheld gaming back in the day. So I went in there, I sussed it out, and I went back home and I checked, and I found that I actually had a bunch of consoles, so older handheld consoles like your 3DSs, and some old Pokemon titles that had actually gone up quite significantly. So I was like, oh, sick. Maybe I can just go in there and trade them and, you know, get a Steam Deck. So I go in, I get the value of all the games in the console. I can't remember how much it was, but it was decent. It was like over $1,000 Australian. And I was like, surely this is enough for a Steam Deck. And then I was told by the staff about the Steam Deck OLED, and I'm like, ooh, fancy. I mean, that one sounds better, so maybe I'll get that one instead. But they didn't have it in store. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just wait a bit and then I'll come back when you guys have one. So I went home, and sorry, I should preface at the start. When you get stuff with CEX, you can either get cash paid via PayID or in-store credit. In-store credit is always more, obviously, you know, because it's going towards their stock, so it makes sense. But once you've made the transaction, that's it. You can't like take your backsies to, you know. So I went home and I did some research, and I found that I could buy a Steam Deck from Valve directly, cheaper, new, than I could at CEX secondhand. And I'm like, oh, well, look, I'm sure, innocent mistake, I'll go in store and have a chat with them. So I did, and I went and had a chat with one of the guys. Again, super, super nice. And I was like, hey man, do you see this discrepancy? Like, I can get one for, like a new one, like cheaper than I can get one in here. And he's like, let me reach out to my head office and I'll find out. And that process took some time, and I was a little bit frustrated because I did say to the bloke, I'm like, hey, can you please let me know when you get an answer? And I didn't hear from him. So the next, I think a few days went by, and I went back in store, and I was like, hey man, you never called me. And he's like, yeah, sorry, I only got a response today. And he showed me an email trail of about 15 or 16 emails between himself and his head office trying to make a case to drop the prices of the second-hand Steam Decks, which they weren't able to do. So, as one does when you're married, you call up the boss, and the wife said, "Look, just take it as a lesson learned, and then get the Steam Deck." So that's what I did, and I've played it like 3 times. But I'm happy with it, and I'm definitely going to play with it more. So that was my CEX experience. Overall, again, the business model a bit shaky, but the staff was brilliant. We are at Cash Converters. I don't know where the entrance is, so let's find the entrance first. Here we go. I don't have high hopes for this place, but we'll suss it out anyway. Nope. Hamster Heroes, anyone? Yeah, nothing there. That's all right. Yeah, unfortunately, that was not good. They only had a whole bunch of SingStar games. Also, I do see the irony in having a Nintendo 64 shirt while doing a PS2 challenge. It's just because I don't have any PS2 or PS clothing at all, but if I find something, I will wear it next time. So the point of this collection isn't to own, you know, the most fancy or most expensive games. It was always to collect titles that meant the most to me. And with what we've picked up so far, San Andreas was a game that I played so much growing up, and it was so fun. Going through Grove Street, I think that's what it was called. But I specifically remember just randomly being able to get the main character jacked, and it was so much fun. And maybe it's because I could never be jacked in real life because I didn't have the discipline, but getting him jacked, that was a good feeling. And we picked up Final Fantasy X2. So that's an interesting one because I've never actually played this particular game, but I feel like over the years, like what Final Fantasy has meant to me as a person, it has like increased as titles have, you know, come out. So I started with 14, and I've played a few different ones since then, like 15, 16, And recently I've done some of the Pixel remasters, so 1, 2, and 3. I did 7, was it 7 Remake, I think? I really enjoyed that too. And I feel like then that, Final Fantasy released a Magic set. Obviously I'm a big Magic the Gathering guy, so as all these things came together, I thought it'd be really cool to collect some of these titles and be able to play them. And X2 will be one of those ones that I look forward to sitting down and playing at some point. So while we're driving to our next destination, I just wanted to share a story of something funny that happened the other day, yesterday. During my lunch break, I wanted to go get my facial hair trimmed, just so I didn't look like a bum on camera. And the guy was cleaning it up, and he asked me, he's like, "Oh, do you want me to wax your nose hair?" He had a bit of an accent, so I didn't understand him at first. And I was like, "Sorry, what was that?" And he's like, "Do you want me to wax your nose hair?" And I thought he meant just like stick one of those trimming things up there. And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then when I realized he meant wax, he kind of looked at me, and I'm like, he's looking at me like, am I gonna wimp out on this? And I was like, you know what? I care what this random person thinks of me, so I said yes. And I don't know if anyone's had their nose waxed before, but it entailed putting like a big paddle pop stick in like hot wax, letting it cool down, then sticking it up my nose, both my noses, and then he'd press them down. And I ended up sneezing, firstly, because I've never experienced a paddle pop stick so far up my nose. The whole time he's just having a laugh. He's just laughing at me like it's some sort of joke, and I'm starting to think, like, is nose waxing something they actually offer here, or was this guy just bored? Anyway, he eventually, after it cooled down, he's like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he pulled out both paddle pop sticks and showed me all the hair that was formerly in my nose. And my nose has never looked so clean before. It's a bit weird, actually. I've never seen that deep into my nose. So I've never been to this store before, but I do really like what I'm seeing. There's a lot of really cool stuff here. So I'm going to take my time and look around. Ooh, this is the wrong one. I need Budokai 1. So I'm just looking to see if they have Bully, which they might have in like their more rare titles. I'll have a look through there in a minute. Warriors.
So you're Marvel superheroes?
X2. What's the price tag? Oh my god. Oh, yeah, we picked that up for like $12 before. Crazy. This is on the list. So let's hold on to this for now. But look, if it's overpriced, I'm not gonna buy it if it's overpriced. Because I'm sure common titles, I'm sure I can get cheaper elsewhere. But let's pop that there for now. Naruto's My Chronicles. This is one. I enjoyed this a lot back in the day, so that is one we will hold on to. That's one we will grab. This is one that's on our list, 228. And look, Xenosaga is one I didn't play, but I actually fell in love with the Xenoblade series. So I do want to pick this up. Episode 2 came out in Australia, episode 1 and 3 didn't. But I have done research and I already know that I can get this way cheaper online if I need to. So I'm going to pass on that one. But let's see what else is in here. The Dark Chronicles and this. We've got 143 to play with today. And I think we can make that work. So 128 and 14. My editor's good at maths. Usually my maths isn't too bad, but I'm not good at maths under pressure. So
again, what's the
128 plus 14. So
142.
40. Ooh, so it might be worth, because we have a budget of 143 and it's so close, it might be worth pulling the trigger on that and this today. And that way we walk away with, 8 titles in total. with $1 left, and then that leaves us with 12 titles left. So that might not be a bad idea. But before we do that, I'm going to get one of the staff to pull this out just so I can have a look at it. Look, while we're here, you want to have a game? We still have 143 minus this in the budget, which will probably roll over to our next. But you know what? Because one of the games that I have on there is Sonic Heroes, which you saw earlier. Yeah, so I actually have that on GameCube already, so I'm open to changing that to something else that I might enjoy. And you know what I was thinking? What might be fun? Like Tony Hawk. If I can find like Tony Hawk Pro Skater like 2, that might be kind of fun, because I did love that game growing up. There is 3 and 4 here. I don't know if Tony Hawk 2, check to make sure. Okay, so it's Underground 2. Let's just have a look though, because there might be something that I would place. So this game, Guitar-Roo Man, I don't know if that's how you say it. I remember having a demo of that back in the day, and it was wild. It was a lot of fun. Look at the price, $239. That's So this is off topic, and this is away from the PS2 challenge, but there's a couple titles in here that I loved. So like this one down here, Sonic and Knuckles. I had that on Sega Mega Drive, but same packaging as well. I remember getting it for Christmas one year, and my dad pretended like he didn't get us any gifts, and we got very upset. And then just randomly pulled this out, and we were happy again. But I have very, very fond memories of that one there. And also, Captain Planet was so bloody hard. Oh my god! But I loved Captain Planet back in the day. But it was incredibly difficult, and I would not want to touch that game again. But it was fun. Busy day?
Yeah, today, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's 14.
Thanks, man.
No worries.
Much appreciated. Have a nice day, yeah?
See ya.
Yeah, look, only one title from there, but that's all right. It is what it is. It did take us a while to get out here, but it just means next time we go out, there's going to be a bit of heavy lifting, but it's not a problem at all. Overall, I still think, what we got, 7 out of 20? It's not too bad. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. I ended up pulling the trigger on this copy of Xenosaga 2 that I found on eBay. The price was really good, and there was barely any listings available. Do you want to show Mama? Big cross. Big cross. See, Mama?
Yeah.
More big cross. Only this one. Only this one. Man, what a day. We managed to grab a bunch of titles. After purchasing Xenosaga, however, we only have $29 left in the budget, and we only have 1 week left until Collect Fest. So, Collect Fest is Australia's first festival for all things collectible, and I think it'll be the best opportunity we have to finish this intentional challenge. But we need to sell our Pokemon titles first, otherwise we'll have no budget. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for a preview of episode 3. See you soon. I feel like I would have had better luck doing a N64 challenge today. Should be easy to find, but it's not.
There are not as many games.
Yeah, there's really not. It's all cards.
Sorry that the PS2 collection isn't as wide as we'd like it to be.
I brought a lot of PC games, but not other console games this time.
Yeah, apparently it's not going to be completed today. Which one do you want, left or right?